They're gonna have to. I was gonna say that with that many characters on the screen, they're gonna have to scale back the voice clips. It's gonna get.
I don't know that they are. I listened. I was watching one of the Japanese clips, and there was definitely a lot of talking going on. I don't know if it's more or less than the other games, but it seemed like there was a healthy amount. There's evidently you can have up to 7 party members at once. You can have 8 technically if you have, I think the Nopon pair, but that doesn't really count. They count as one unit, and it does raise the question: how do they balance that? Because if you're still only controlling one character, but it does make me wonder, how did they balance that? Like, is your individual contribution as the player going to be lessened by this? And I think that they have to know that that's not really an acceptable thing. Like, if you can go into any battle and just have your team carry you because there's 5 of them other than you, then that's not much of a game. So part of me thinks like one way they could easily solve this issue is through the tactics menu by allowing you to control all characters. My ideal would be a Final Fantasy VII remake like switching system where you can just switch between characters on the fly. I'm not expecting that because that's not been a thing heretofore with the Xenoblade series, but that would be really cool, and I think it would be an easy way to make it so okay, yeah, you have 6 party members, but you can control any one of them at any time, so you're still the one always playing. Do you know what I'm saying? That doesn't necessarily solve the problem of, okay, well, how do you balance enemy health and, damage scaling with 6 party members? But I trust that they're going to do a decent job. I mean, the clips I've watched so far, it seemed like there was an awful lot of fighting against a single enemy, so it seems like they're not just going to be like Steven said, a Warriors game where you just rush in and then they're all dead in 2 seconds.
Hope not.
So anyway, I have hopes. I'm not expecting that though. I'm kind of expecting it to be relatively straightforward. I'm really curious to find out how they plan on balancing that. Okay, and then the last thing I'll say on the battle system, we have to talk about the Ouroboros in the room, if you will. Which is, it was good. Come on.
It was good.
The Ouroboros gameplay. It's basically the return of traditional Xenoblade mech battling. I feel like for the wider Xenoblade series, that is a very, a staple almost. Xenogears had mech battling. I believe all of Xenosaga had mech battling. Xenoblade has lacked it for the most part, other than Xenoblade X, although I don't feel like it was implemented super well in X, for various reasons.
Say why? Can I just say why? Real quick.
Go for it.
It's because you never wanted to take your tail out, because then it would get terribly damaged, and you have to pay all the money to get it repaired.
But if you do a perfect injection, then it doesn't cost anything to fix it.
Do I do anything perfect, Anthony?
It was, I mean, the one thing to be said for the skull battling in Xenoblade X is just that it was kind of a cool, really hype system, and I'm kind of excited to see them bringing that back in a sense with the Ouroboros system in Xenoblade 3. What am I trying to say? It just looks like it's really well meshed into the systems. Like, no longer are you able to just hop into Ouroboros form and just wreck the battle, because there's an overheating system that you can't stay in it for very long. You have to meet certain criteria to be able to enter that phase to begin with. So you still have to make sure that your characters are powerful enough. It's not just going to undo all of their leveling and all of the growth. But it just looks like a really cool, it's almost like, if I could compare it to like Final Fantasy VII's limit system or Final Fantasy IX's trance system. You meet certain criteria in the battle, and then you gain access to a really powerful attack or form that you can use for a short time. And it just kind of introduces a really cool, really hype tactical advantage system that just sounds really rewarding. I guess my thesis to start was, I feel like this game really looks like it's a meshing of Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2 in terms of combat, and it just looks like they've found the balance between a more the more complex and possibly more layered, potentially more rewarding system of Xenoblade 2 overall, with the nonlinear and not overly deep layered system of Xenoblade 1 that allows you to have your strategic options basically at any time, or at least it's easy to build to them. And it just makes it feel more strategic. I don't know. Anyway, this is just me theorizing a lot, but I just gotta say, like, this looks like in a lot of ways a radical evolution of the systems we've seen so far, and it on paper it looks really cool. For me, Xenoblade games are in large part, I'm excited about them almost more for the story than for the combat. The combat is good, but the story is what I love most about Xenoblade 1. And to be honest, in large part, that's one of the elements that's made me disappointed with all of the sequels ever since, to some degree. Xenoblade X had, had some really good, solid gameplay systems, but that story, I'm not going to get into it, but And then Xenoblade 2, we've already talked about this. I didn't love how objectifying they went with that one, and also super anime, and wasn't my thing. So it just looks to me like Xenoblade 3, okay, so I've gotten a little bit off track again, but I will just say this. Xenoblade 3 looks like it's going back to focusing more on story, similar to how Xenoblade 1 kind of feels with that. That's got me very excited. I have no idea what the story is. Those trailers, I'm just like, well, lots of bad things are happening and they're running away and scary bad guys and fights, But, that's JRPG trailers for you, so that's to be expected. But it looks cool. It looks like a hype story. But honestly, the big deal for me here is, with all that being said, that, I'm kind of a plot-driven guy when it comes to Xenoblade games. That combat system looks awesome enough for me to be just stoked for the game just on that basis alone. It just looks so cool and just really excited.
I was gonna say that I feel like for me, I'm still somewhat of a Xenoblade newbie. I have only played the first one. I never played Xenoblade X, and I don't really have any interest in playing Xenoblade 2 for various reasons. But I liked the first one a lot. It was a great game, and like Anthony said, the story was really good. What I liked most about the first game, though, was the world design. It's probably the most unique game world of any video game I've ever played. I just want to play I want to play this new Xenoblade game. It looks a lot, like just from the trailers, it feels a lot more like it's channeling the world design and other things from the first game. The character designs, the world design. And so that gets me excited. I want to see more of that.
And it's making me pretty hopeful. I know, again, last video we did on this, I was a lot more hesitant to be excited, but I think this last trailer has finally overcome my concerns, and now I'm just full on the hype train.
Heck yeah, and I'm really excited for all you RPG fans that are really excited about this. It is, don't laugh at me. This is a no. For
if
real,
you guys knew the amount of heckling we get from this boy
on an hourly basis. No, but as much as I joke around, I really am happy for all of you guys. So, and I agree with everything you guys have said. Like David, what I have played of the first Xenoblade Chronicles, yeah, that world is very unique. Nothing like it. Love the vistas. This game looks like it's just going to blow that out of the water as well. Yeah, I'm super stoked. Let's go. Except I got to beat the first one first, so I got to finish that. But I am excited for this.
So yeah, it looks like there is a lot to be excited about with this game. It looks like they're really just bringing their AAA dev work to the table. Music, that theme, that trailer theme. Ooh. Like, it just seems like this game has all of the things I've wanted from a Xenoblade game ever since the first one. Epic music, awesome looking story, freaking amazing gameplay systems. It looks like it's got the whole package, and I'm just really excited about that. And I have to admit, I'm also really appreciative that of all the trailers we've seen so far, it really doesn't seem like they're focusing on objectification in this one. I mean, that it just doesn't seem like it's a factor or a focus like it was in Xenoblade 2. So it just looks like this game is checking all the boxes, and I couldn't be more excited. Anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let us know if you're excited, what you love most about what we've seen so far, and join us on the hype train. And until next time, Keep it nerdy.
Keep it
Keep it nerdy.